folks, AshleyAllThingsIndustry.com, and I've been meaning on shooting this video, and finally I got a chance. This is a really neat way to give somebody a provisional or even perhaps a definitive FDP using rib-on. Now you can so what we want to do is we want to place either a denture tooth or a composite tooth or whatever kind of tooth you want, natural tooth, using almost like a seatbelt material like this. This is rib-on. It's a blown up picture, the only one I have off the internet. So you can see it's sort of this multi-fibral stranded thing, little seatbelts, that's what I like to call them. In any event, I'm going to show you two cases. You can go online to the website and I'll include it. They know how to, they do the exact technique. I just want to show you our cases to use it in. So this case this is my first xenograft. You can get a discussion of, that's a fairly significant defect now, I know, and a xenograft probably wasn't the best choice. In any event, placed a rib-on right after the xenograft, and in this case, after this patient had an implant placed, I placed her implant into this tooth number 10, or FDI tooth number 22. We did a bit of enamoplasty and placed the implant there. So the first one, this is what we gave him. This is right after the same appointment after the bone graft. And for this patient, this is approximately a week and a half after we placed the implant. She was going to a wedding, so she wanted a tooth, and I didn't want her to wear a flipper. So, and I didn't want to place a immediate provisional on that implant. So anyways, how did I do this? Well, I did it the right way, and I did it the wrong way. Not the wrong way, but probably not the easiest. Okay, so remember, we're using this. We're going to be layering it and using dentin bonding agent and total etch technique. Okay, so one way you can do it, which I did in both, just because of the occlusion, was to keep these. This is a little deeper than I would have wanted. Keep it the preparations in enamel. I outline them with pencil just so I could take a photo. So they wrap around on the mesial of the canine and distal of the central incisor, because you're going to be placing your rib-on right across. So did that, selected a denture tooth for one of the cases. For the other one, I had a Radica tooth composite prepared. Now with the denture tooth, on the video they suggest that they're not going to bond to it, so you need to use a macro retention. You could use little slots and etc. etc. So the way that they suggest to do it is to initially measure the rib-on on a cast and then place it directly intraorally. So this is one of the techniques that you have to do in order to prevent hemorrhage. You got to apply pressure, and you don't want hemorrhage on this thing, because not only does it stain it, it decreases your bonding strength. So what I did was I dentin bond and acid etch, dentin bonding agent. Then I took a long layer, the first one, lay it across. You soak it in dentin bonding agent first, so it's kind of nice and, I don't know how to describe it, flowable maybe. Then you cure it, then you take another layer and put it right here. You can put composite between it. In any event, you set up the scaffolding before, then you place your tooth on it. So that's the recommended technique. So let's see here, acid etch. Actually, we completed the graft, acid etch, and then place the rib-on, and now this is a Radica composite tooth. The lab tech had a really neat idea where it broke on this side, but to place wings to get a positive seat, then you can cure it. Your dentin bonding agent. That was a great idea. And then this was the result immediately as the patient walked away. So we don't have anything impinging, and actually we're going to develop the ponic site as well, or attempt to in any event. So this is 1 week post-operatively, and this is approximately 3 weeks post-operatively. So nice healing, patient's keeping it clean, and he's got a tooth, and he was fairly happy about that. So the other way that you could do it, which I wouldn't suggest, but you can try it, every case is different, would be to, again, take a denture tooth, measure out your rib-on, and then lute everything on tabletop and then have these wings coated in your dentin bonding agent, but then place those intraorally. And that worked, but I think the recommended technique is a little bit better. But every situation's different. So this technique I used on the patient that I placed an implant. So you can see here, patient needed, I placed this about 2 weeks post-operative, the implant, maybe 3. She needed a denture, needed a tooth. She was tired of walking around without a tooth. She had a flipper for years. So we luted that in there, and it's been 4 months. I think this week we're going to provisionalize this implant, and this is still in there. She's been extremely happy. And so here's the occlusion. So you can see we've reduced this. I put her back in she's always been in canine guidance. So I had enameloplasty. Actually, no, group function because it's a premolar. So reduce the canine, so we're not getting any occlusion on this FDP. So those are 2 cases that worked out really well. Here's the first one, and that's immediately post-operative at the bone graft. And here's the second one. You can see how much we needed to reduce that. And there she is. And they've both been actually really happy. Hope that helps. Cheers.